Muhammad Ali Pasha al-Masud ibn Aga was an Ottoman Albanian commander in the Ottoman army, who became wali and self-declared Khedive of Egypt and Sudan with the Ottomans' temporary approval. Though not a modern nationalist, he is regarded as the founder of modern Egypt because of the dramatic reforms in the military, economic and cultural spheres that he instituted. He also ruled Levantine territories outside Egypt. The dynasty that he established would rule Egypt and Sudan until the Egyptian Revolution of 1952 led by Muhammad Naguib. Early life. Muhammad Ali was born to Albanian parents in the city of Kavala, part of the Ottoman Rumelia Eyalet. According to the many French, English and other Western journalists who interviewed him, and according to people who knew him, the only language he knew fluently was Albanian, although he was also competent in Turkish. It has been suggested that his ancestors were Turkish, and actually migrated from southeast Anatolia, but this is refuted by his descendants, and other historians maintain that the family were ethnic Albanians and originated from Albania. He was a son of a tobacco and shipping merchant named Ibrahim Aga. His mother Zainab was his uncle Hussein Aga's sister. Muhammad Ali was the nephew of the Ayan of Kavala, Hussein Aga. When his father died at a young age, Muhammad was taken and raised by his uncle with his cousins. As a reward for Muhammad Ali's hard work, his uncle Korbachi gave him the rank of Bollock Press for the collection of taxes in the town of Kavala. After Mehmet's promising success in collecting taxes, he gained second commander rank under his cousin Sarayshaz Mahalialaga in the Kavala volunteer contingent that was sent to reoccupy Egypt following General Napoleon Bonaparte's withdrawal. He later married Ali Aga's daughter, Emin Nosratli, a wealthy widow of Ali Bey. In 1801, his unit was sent, as part of a much larger Ottoman force, to reoccupy Egypt following a brief French occupation that threatened the way of life in Egypt. The expedition landed at Abu Qir in the spring of 1801. The French withdrawal left a power vacuum in Egypt. Mamluk power had been weakened, but not destroyed, and Ottoman forces clashed with the Mamluks for power. During this period of turmoil, Muhammad Ali used his loyal Albanian troops to work with both sides, gaining power and prestige for himself. As the conflict drew on, the local populace grew weary of the power struggle. In 1801, he allied with Egyptian Arab leader Imam Akram and the Sheikh of Al-Azhar University. In 1805, a group of prominent Egyptians led by the ulama demanded the replacement of Wali Ahmad Khurshid Pasha by Muhammad Ali, and the Ottomans yielded. In 1809, though, Ali exiled Makram to Damietta. According to Abd al-Rahman al-Jabati, Makram had discovered Muhammad Ali's intentions to seize power for himself. Sultan Selim III could not oppose Muhammad Ali's ascension. By appearing as the champion of the people, Muhammad Ali was able to forestall popular opposition until he had consolidated his power. The Mamluks still posed the greatest threat to Muhammad Ali. They had controlled Egypt for more than 600 years, and over that time they had extended their rule extensively throughout Egypt. Muhammad Ali's approach was to eliminate the Mamluk leadership, then move against the rank and file. Muhammad Ali invited the Mamluk leaders to a celebration at the Cairo citadel in honor of his son, Tosun, who was to lead a military expedition into Arabia. The event was held on March 1, 1811. When the Mamluks had gathered at the citadel, and were surrounded by Muhammad Ali's troops, he had his troops kill them. After the leaders were killed, Muhammad Ali dispatched his army throughout Egypt to rout the remainder of the Mamluk forces. Muhammad Ali transformed Egypt into a regional power which he saw as the natural successor to the decaying Ottoman Empire. He summed up his vision for Egypt as follows: I am well aware that the empire is heading by the day toward destruction. On its ruins I will build a vast kingdom, up to the Euphrates and the Tigris, reinventing Egypt. Sultan Selim III had recognized the need to reform and modernize the Ottoman Empire along European lines to ensure that his state could compete. Selim III, however, faced stiff local opposition from an entrenched clergy and military apparatus. Consequently, Selim III was deposed and ultimately killed in 1808. Muhammad Ali, too, recognized the need to modernize, and unlike Selim, he had dispatched his chief rival, giving him a free hand to copy Selim's attempted reforms. Muhammad Ali's goal was to establish a powerful, European-style state. To do that, he had to reorganize Egyptian society, streamline the economy, train a professional bureaucracy, and build a modern military. His first task was to secure a revenue stream for Egypt. To accomplish this, Muhammad Ali nationalized all the land of Egypt, thereby officially owning all the production of the land. He accomplished the state annexation of property by raising taxes on the tax farmers who had previously owned the land throughout Egypt. The new taxes were intentionally high, and when the tax farmers could not extract the demanded payments from the peasants who worked the land, Muhammad Ali confiscated their properties. In practice, Muhammad Ali's land reform amounted to a monopoly on trade in Egypt. He required all producers to sell their goods to the state. The state in turn resold Egyptian goods within Egypt and to foreign markets, and retained the surplus. The practice proved very profitable for Egypt with the cultivation of long staple cotton. The newfound profits also extended down to the individual farmers, as the average wage increased fourfold. In addition to bolstering the agricultural sector, Muhammad Ali built an industrial base for Egypt. His motivation for doing so was primarily an effort to build a modern military. Consequently, he focused on weapons production. Factories based in Cairo produced muskets and cannons. With a shipyard he built in Alexandria, he began construction of a navy. By the end of the 1830s, Egypt's war industries had constructed 9 100-gun warships and were turning out 1,600 muskets a month. However, the industrial innovations were not limited to weapons production. Muhammad Ali established a textile industry in an effort to compete with European industries and produce greater revenues for Egypt. While the textile industry was not successful, the entire endeavor employed tens of thousands of Egyptians. Additionally, by hiring European managers, he was able to introduce industrial training to the Egyptian population. To staff his new industries, Muhammad Ali employed a corvée labor system. The peasantry objected to these conscriptions and many ran away from their villages to avoid being taken, sometimes fleeing as far away as Syria. A number of them maimed themselves so as to be unsuitable for combat. Common ways of self-maiming were blinding an eye with rat poison and cutting off a finger of the right hand, so as to be unable to fire a rifle. Beyond building a functioning, industrial economy, Muhammad Ali also made an effort to train a professional military and bureaucracy. He sent promising citizens to Europe to study. Again, the driving impulse behind the effort was to build a European-style army. Students were sent to study European languages, primarily French, so they could in turn translate military manuals into Arabic. He then used both educated Egyptians and imported European experts to establish schools and hospitals in Egypt. The European education also provided talented Egyptians with a means of social mobility. A byproduct of Muhammad Ali's training program was the establishment of a professional bureaucracy. Establishing an efficient central bureaucracy was an essential prerequisite for the success of Muhammad Ali's other reforms. In the process of destroying the Mamluks, the Wali had to fill the governmental roles that the Mamluks had previously filled. In doing so, Muhammad Ali kept all central authority for himself. He partitioned Egypt into 10 provinces responsible for collecting taxes and maintaining order. Muhammad Ali installed his sons in most key positions. However, his reforms did offer Egyptians opportunities beyond agriculture and industry. Role in Arabic literary renaissance. In the 1820s, Muhammad Ali sent the first educational mission of Egyptian students to Europe. This contact resulted in literature that is considered the dawn of the Arabic literary renaissance, known as the Nahda. Rifaa al-Tatawi supervised translations from French to Arabic on topics ranging from sociology and history to military technology, and these translations have been considered the second great translation movement, after the first from Greek into Arabic. In 1821, his government founded the first indigenous press in the Arab world, the Bollock Press. The Bollock Press published the official gazette of Muhammad Ali's government. Among his personal interests was the accumulation and breeding of Arabian horses, in horses obtained as taxes and tribute. Muhammad Ali recognized the unique characteristics and careful attention to bloodlines of the horses bred by the Bedouin, particularly by the Anazir in Syria and those bred in the Nejd, while his immediate successor had minimal interest in the horse breeding program. His grandson, who became Abbas I, shared this interest and further built upon his work.